Good grief, I'm crying before I even start. Okay, let me try this. Hi, this is Sarah from Sarah Liza Fitness. Today I decided to make a video to comfort those who may be grieving from having their tubes tied, having a tubal ligation, or having Essure done. About 10 years ago, after I had my third child, I had Essure done. Essure is a procedure where they put metal coils into your fallopian tubes to block them. And I have to admit that I wasn't ready for that. Since that time, I've been through a lot of healing work to heal from a past of sexual abuse and emotional dysfunctionality in my family. And I have learned that I have a voice. And a big part of me wishes I knew at that time that I had a voice, but I didn't. And I just wasn't ready. Since that time, I have struggled off and on with dreams about having more children and, thoughts of having more children and wishing I could go back and reverse that and wondering if I would have had more children if I hadn't had that done. And just this past weekend, it really came up big for me. Maybe it's around the 10-year anniversary of that happening, but I was just feeling a lot of sadness and fear, and finally connected it to what I was feeling about having had the Essure done when I was 35. I just want to validate the feelings that might go along with that, whether you are completely sure that you wanted to be done having children, or whether someone was putting pressure on you to get some kind of procedure done, or whether you just weren't ready but you said yes. Any of those scenarios, these feelings can be present and they don't just go away. I was reading online because I wanted to see if anybody else was struggling with this issue. And I was very surprised to find some amazing blogs and forums about this subject. Probably the biggest feeling that I have struggled with is a feeling of emptyness. That is the most prominent thing that I have felt, just a feeling of emptiness and regret. Regret about agreeing to something that I wasn't ready for, and having such a permanent thing done when I really was not reconciled with the feelings that went along with having that done. Many women described a feeling of emptiness, whether they were completely ready to be done having children or not. That was a universal feeling of emptiness. Sadness, regret. I was very surprised how many women, especially women that were like 45 or younger, that wished they hadn't had it done. Whether it was in a few years or even 10 years, they regretted that decision. And the younger they were, in some of the studies that I read, they regretted it even more. Dealt with a lot of feelings of emptiness, sadness, regret, wishing they could have more children, and many people, trying to reverse it or realizing that they simply could not afford the procedure to reverse it, if it was even possible, depending on what they had done. So I just want to validate that. I want to validate that regardless of how ready you are and the reason that you're having this done, there's a feeling of emptiness and sadness. There's a finality about it that can't be changed. And yeah, it's there. I'm not going to hide it. And I'm still working through this. I think it's a grieving process. It's a death of the ability to bring forth life. This video is not about controversy. It's not about, if we should decide to, use birth control or have our tubes tied or have Essure done or anything like that. That's not what this video is about. This video is simply about validating, yeah, it makes perfect sense that you might be feeling empty. It makes perfect sense that you are grieving. And it makes perfect sense that you may never stop grieving. It might, get easier after a while, but it doesn't just go away. And to express love and compassion for anyone out there who may be feeling similar to me. So I just want to do that. Your feelings are okay. And your husband and nobody else around you might understand that. But it's real. And you're not alone. And for me personally, as a Christian, I have found hope and healing in just resting in the comfort of my Savior and knowing that everything works out for the good of those who love Him and according to His purpose. And whether something was done to you, or whether you made a choice and you regret it, or whether you're perfectly happy with it, God will redeem anything that was lost and comfort you if you seek Him. That's my comfort. I look forward to reading any comments that you might post below. Anybody else who may be feeling that emptiness, that grief, that sadness, that regret, just that finality. It's normal, and you're not strange or weird for feeling those things, and it's something that, we have to deal with. Thanks.